When I pull up on a hater, watch a hater fall back. I'm too good with these hands, watch a hater fall flat. If I die, all I know, I'm a motherfucking legend. It's so great for my city, I'm the realest one that's reppin'. Oh my God, if I die, I'm a legend. When they lay me down to rest, I know I was always reppin'. Oh my God, my whole life, my words been my greatest weapon. I know I've been the coast's greatest blessing. Better recognize a king when he rapping with you. You hoes suck, it's like you always bring a vacuum with you. Solid like a mannequin, but you ain't plastic, is you? Cause if you got a bone to pick, I got a matching issue. Talking about me, then it gotta be lies. Cause I never get a tag or a chance to reply. If you don't got the courage to mention me, then you can fuck yourself with your phone until the battery dies. I mean, you mad at me, why? Cause I had to be fly. 2 albums in a year and I can't even try. Tried to fill my shoes, then you had to resize. I'm the king on the throne, bitch, is where I reside. When I pull up on a hater, watch a hater fall back. I'm too good with these hands, watch a hater fall flat. If I die, all I know, I'm a motherfucking legend. It's so great for my city, I'm the realest one that's reppin'. Oh my God, if I die, I'm a legend. When they lay me down to rest, I know I was always reppin'. Oh my God, my whole life, my words been my greatest weapon. I know I've been the coast's greatest blessing.
Long haul, baby. Long haul, baby.
When I pull up on a hater, watch a hater fall back. I'm too good with these hands, watch a hater fall flat. If I die, all I know, I'm a motherfucking legend. It's so great for my city, I'm the realest one that's reppin'. Oh my God, if I die, I'm a legend. When they lay me down to rest, I know I was always reppin'. Oh my God, my whole life, my words been my greatest weapon. I know I've been the coast's greatest blessing. Better recognize a king when he rapping with you. You hoes suck, it's like you always bring a vacuum with you. Solid like a mannequin, but you ain't plastic, is you? Cause if you got a bone to pick, I got a matching issue. Talking about me, then it gotta be lies. Cause I never get a tag or a chance to reply. If you don't got the courage to mention me, then you can fuck yourself with your phone until the battery dies. I mean, you mad at me, why? Cause I had to be fly. 2 albums in a year and I can't even try. Tried to fill my shoes, then you had to resize. I'm the king on the throne, bitch, is where I reside. When I pull up on a hater, watch a hater fall back. I'm too good with these hands, watch a hater fall flat. If I die, all I know, I'm a motherfucking legend. It's so great for my city, I'm the realest one that's reppin'. Oh my God, if I die, I'm a legend. When they lay me down to rest, I know I was always reppin'. Oh my God, my whole life, my words been my greatest weapon. I know I've been the coast's greatest blessing.
It's just me tonight. Welcome to probably, let's see, what month are we in? Shit, it's probably one maybe not the last episode, but one of the last episodes of Almost Legal Podcast. And tonight we're going to be talking about a lot of things I've talked about throughout the duration of the show. And it's the conspiracy theories versus, well, actually, let me get into that. So here lately, I guess people have stumbled upon me and my page, and they see conspiracies. So they're like, oh, are you into this, and this? And I'm like, well, I usually gravitate towards governmental conspiracy theories. And I was like, better yet, I'm more into conspiracy facts than conspiracy theories. And they almost like laughed me off, like, what? So tonight we're gonna I'm gonna define what I'm talking about when I say conspiracy facts versus conspiracy theories. Also, if you have any questions or you want to talk about any specific conspiracy theories, the call-in lines are open at 205-598-3823. It's in the description wherever you're watching it. Anyway, so if you've listened to pretty much any show I've had in regards to anything, I always reference reading 2,000 some odd declassified JFK files, and I'm like, oh, you didn't learn anything, but you saw a pattern and you see the same core group of people. And I always mention that, but I never really brought specifics into it. So I got this list of things that happened in this certain time frame. So we know due to those documents that they lied about Hitler's death, being dead in 1945 when he committed suicide in his bunker. And we also know that the remains that Russia has is not of a man, but a middle-aged woman. Hold on. I got to find Hitler. All right, here we go. So this is the document that I read when this shows it. Okay, so basically, of course, you got some stuff that's redacted. And you got Hollywood, California, blah, 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 blah. Where are we getting? Was one of four men who met Hitler and his party when they landed from the two submarines in Argentina, approximately 2.5 weeks after the fall of Berlin. Continued that the first sub came close to shore about 11 p.m. after it had been signaled that it was safe to land on a dock. Can't read that. All right, so basically, blah, 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 but Hitler was here. There's a picture. Hold on. Then J. Edgar Hoover was the head of the FBI, who was also a cross-dresser and a avid homosexual advocate. Fun fact. Where the hell is it? Well, there's a picture here somewhere. Time out. Oh, shit. This is all of them? We'll find it. Hold on. Oh, yeah. I got like a terabyte of declassified documents. So it's like a needle in a haystack sometimes. I don't know where the hell this picture is. Probably already passed it. Regardless, just look up Hitler photo JFK files. Watch JFK files. Should have just did this in the first place. There it is. This is what I was looking for. That's Hitler. They knew he was alive. Apparently, they allowed him to stay there because it was stopping the spread of communism from coming from our southern border. It's crazy how that's our scapegoat, allow us to do sketchy shit. But staying on that time frame, so that was in 1945. That picture was taken in 1955, so we're in that time frame. Now, Operation Paperclip. Operation Paperclip was known as a conspiracy theory or crazy until declassified documents come. So basically, you see all these the Nuremberg trials or whatever, where they persecuted all the Nazis and of war crimes and executed them, blah, 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 unless you have something to give the government. So here is Operation Paperclip was a secret program of the Joint Intelligence Objectives Agencies, largely carried out by the special agents of Army CIC, in which more than 1,600 German scientists, engineers, technicians, such as Werner von Braun and his V-2 rocket team, were taken from Germany to the United States. Where at in the United States? Huntsville, Alabama. He was the head of NASA. He was praised. There's buildings named after him, but he was a Nazi. He's just a scientist. He was just following orders. He used to hang the two slowest Jews, I don't know, weekly or daily, in front of his rocket factory. He was a hardcore Nazi. But no one cares because he works for America now, along with 1,600 other ones. So every time I see somebody talk about, last living Nazis getting tried for war crimes, I'm like, get the hell out of here. So this was in, of course, 1945 to 1959, right there. Boom. All right. So now what's next? We got MK Ultra. MK Ultra was a top secret CIA project in which the agency conducted hundreds of clandestine experiments, sometimes on unwitting U.S. citizens, to assess the potential use of LSD and other drugs for mind control, information gathering, and psychological torture. This is our government. So every time you call a conspiracy theory a Looney Tune, like our government will never do that, like blah, 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 they've done it. Like it's been done. And I know you're like, oh, wait, that's just history. Let me find you a credible source here. Hold my beer. Boom. CIA.gov. Let's get into this. Originally, they got a doctor, and they would have U.S. civilians come in for sleep studies. And while they're in sleep study, they give them like north of 12 hits of acid. This started in 1953, and it didn't come to light till 1975 due to lawsuits, and then they were forced to admit it. And then, therefore, that's probably the only reason it got declassified, because if no one brought it up, it probably just kind of been buried somewhere. Yeah, so anyway, so when they went to the sleep study, they're like, oh, shit, we got a paper trail. We got to stop. We got to do something better. So then they started using prostitutes. So they get prostitutes, and they bring back the Johns to a staged motel room where they had like one-sided mirrors and whatnot, and basically they do the exact same thing, kind of drug the guy and see how it'd go. But they also, like I said, they use it torture, and they would try to basically, if you've done studies on this, it breaks it into when you torture a human brain in a certain way, your brain becomes, I guess, in order to, I guess, protect you from the traumatic shit you've gone through, it breaks your brain into fractures your brain and puts up walls where you get split personalities. And basically that's what they were trying to do, so where they can conduct torture to create the perfect spy. That was how the MK Ultra was justified. So that was 1953. So we got 1945 to 1945, 1953. Then we got Operation Northwoods. Operation Northwoods, let me read what this is. Operation Northwoods was a proposed false flag operation against the Cuban government that originated within the U.S. Department of Defense and the Joint Chiefs of Staff of the United States government. This was planned, actually that's false, Wikipedia, against the Cuban government. That is false. 100% false. It was actually false flag attacks planned against U.S. civilians in U.S. soil. They needed a reason to go to war, and this will come to light because it eventually worked, but not with Cuba. So we planned false flag attacks. We planned basically a drone plane. We would take off. They strategically placed certain people on this flight acting like it was nothing crazy. They take off, they land. The drone plane would go fly by Cuba, get shot down, blame it on Cuba. They also planned to go and shoot up U.S. civilians on U.S. soil dressed as Cuban exiles so it would get public support for war against Cuba, because war equals profit, my friend. And yeah, so that gave, to me, Operation Northwood's what gives credence to maybe, you know, if you go to the 9/11 type deal. And that one's deep. Like, I've done an immense amount of research on 9/11. And like I said, it really all depends, like, what do you define conspiracy as? Because conspiracy doesn't always have to be like, oh, there's aliens doing. No, it's just like if they knowingly are telling us something different than what actually happened, no matter how minute it is, that's a conspiracy of some sort. So I think there is a conspiracy at play when it comes to 9/11, because there's just too much shit that doesn't make any sense. Along with a lot of other governmental conspiracies, there's just negligence and just just enough. And there's just enough to where there's like, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense, but there's not enough where you can put the lines together. So anyway, yeah, Operation Northwoods was a prime example of our government not giving a shit about us just to get profit in war. That was Operation Northwoods, 1962. All right, Operation Mockingbird. Operation Mockingbird is it's not alleged. This is another Wikipedia. I can go to, there it is. It's really Family Jewels, Central Intelligence during the period, blah, blah, blah. It's real. I'll show you that document here, but I can read this. All right, so Operation Mockingbird is a large-scale program of the United States Central Intelligence Agency that began in the early 1950s and attempted to manipulate news media for propaganda purposes. It funded student and cultural organizations and magazines as front organizations, and also embedded 53 agents into every major news agency. And they say it is no longer taking place, but I call bullshit if you've watched news anytime recently. All right, so let's get in the Family Jewels here, guy. I don't know if this is the right document. I hope it is. Oh, you shitting me. All right, Family Jewels. The purpose of the memorandum is to forward to your personnel review summaries of activities conducted either by or under the sponsorship of the Office of Security in the past, which, in my opinion, conflict with the provisions of the National Security Act of 1947. 2. These activities cover the period from March 1959 to date and represent as accurate a record as is available in our files. Those activities which took place prior to the date of my appointment as Director of Security on 1 July 1964 have been developed to a certain extent through the recollection of those senior people in this office who were involved or who had knowledge of the activities at the time they occurred. 3, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this guy's just been like, I didn't have shit to do with this. I'm new here. I don't know what you're talking about. So, yeah, that was Operation Mockingbird. Are you getting the things here? These are all conspiracies. They'll call you a conspiracy theorist if you even mention these, but these are all documented proof. This is history. You never hear this shit in the history books, do you? No, you don't. No, you don't. All right, we've got Operation Mongoose. Operation Mongoose. Let's get on Operation Mongoose here. Do I even have Operation Mongoose? There it is. All right, Operation Mongoose was a secret program against the Cuban aimed to removing the communists from power, which was prime focus of the Kennedy administration. Here's the thing, guys. Everybody's little stick against Kennedy is they called him a spineless little bitch because of the Bay of Pigs situation. What do you mean spineless pig for the Bay of Pigs situation? Or where he just left the intelligence agencies hanging in the Bay of Pigs? No, he didn't. That's not what happened. He stumbled upon this. Operation Mongoose was a plan to assassinate the U.S. government, to assassinate Fidel Castro. And JFK said, "Yeah, no, they ain't gonna fly, bro." He fired the head of the CIA. forgot his name. All right. So I'm trying not to like get down rabbit holes and connect a bunch. Okay. So, so he fires the CIA director guy because of that. He gets assassinated. Lyndon Johnson, also in the JFK files, he was a big KKK member before he became into politics. Put him on. He was one of the top dudes on the Warren Commission, who was in charge of investigating his murder. I feel like that's just too close to the vest here. So that was Operation Mongoose. Obviously, Operation Mongoose was around 1962. These are all within like 10 years of each other, right? These are pretty big deals. These you pretty much know. I'm kind of going through big ones that y'all probably don't even know about. All right, so we're 1962. We all know what happens in 1963. What happens in 1963, Josh? The assassination of John F. Kennedy. And that, I think that's that goes without saying. All right, so here's some documents and links and shit. What's this? Yeah, I got links and shit. Don't worry about it. All right, so George Bush. There was a lot of rumors saying the one thing holding these documents from being released was him. He was the last tie. If you're not familiar with not JW but GW's dad, Herbert Walker, the first Bush president, he came out of nowhere, right? There was pictures that looked like him in Dallas that day, and people that were alive back then, they knew, like for us in our lifetime, September 11th, 2001, almost anyone and everyone can tell you exactly where they were that day and when they found out. You know what I mean? And you're not an intelligence agent. He cannot recollect where he was on Dallas. He just never would say. There was a file that referenced to George Bush being in Dallas and being involved. And he says, oh, that must have been another George Bush in the CIA. Anyway, out of nowhere, he gets promoted after he gets that, flies up the ranks. He's the head of the CIA. There's just a bunch of documents. There's so much. The JFK is probably one of the most deep conspiracies because there's so many people that wanted that dude dead. It's insane. All right, so now if you've seen this is the Gulf of Tonkin. Remember when I mentioned that with the Operation Northwoods, where I said war equals profit? They don't give a shit about America, and they needed U.S. backing, like the U.S. civilians, to be like, yeah, screw Cuba, let's go to war with them. Gulf of Tonkin is the exact same thing, and it worked, which led to 1.8 total deaths and unknown amounts of damage to generations of people with Agent Orange. Gulf of Tonkin, allegedly, 2 U.S. battleship things were off the coast of North Vietnam and were attacked on 2 separate occasions by North Vietnamese ships, right? Well, after those 2 things happened, we went to war immediately. That was the sole reason we went to war in Vietnam. The only reason we went to war in Vietnam. And it never frickin' happened. We were never attacked by anyone other than ourselves. We literally faked an attack to go to war. Rumor has it, Lyndon Johnson, that little sleazeball, who was also facing 3 counts of manslaughter when he was the governor of Texas in a prison, and he pardoned himself when he became president after Kennedy died. He signed the papers. He says, you wanted a fucking war? Here's your fucking war, end quote. There's another thing he did. Lyndon Johnson, like I said, remember, he's a KKK member. In 1964, he signed the Civil Rights Act, and in 1965, he gave the rights to blacks to vote. And he said, in quote, he says, we will get the black votes for 100 years. Because he's doing that. That's the only reason he did it. He doesn't give a shit about anyone. He's a crooked dude. The Kennedy family also had a private investigator investigate him on the murder of JFK because they were almost certain he was behind it. All right, so what was I just covering? Gulf of Tonkin. Gulf of Tonkin was 1964. All right, so all these things. Okay, JFK assassination. All of this happened. This is the same freaking people. This is like a 10-year span. All right, guess what? What did JFK promise we would do at the end of the decade? The moon landing. That's another one. The MLK assassination, Malcolm X, Robert Kennedy, Roswell UFO crash was in 1947. Project Blue Book, which was all an immense study on all of anything alien. I don't know if I have that. Do I have Project? Yes, I do. Boom. Here it is. Project Blue Book. I have a lot of documents here, actually. We supposed to be able to see something? Is that it right there? I don't know. Oh, shit. Oh, damn. This is CIA documents. Okay. Dude, is it the Eiffel Tower? Okay, weather balloon. It's always a weather balloon. Oh, shit, dude. What the hell? Obviously, I've never seen these. Playing with the weather balloon. It's just a weather balloon. It's just a weather balloon, guys. Fun fact. All right, so why I keep joking about the weather balloon. All right, Roswell UFO crash. The initial reports where there was a flying saucer crash, bodies were recovered, right? Immediately changed the story, and they had a photo op where saying, oh, it's just a weather balloon. Boop. And they redacted the story, and it fixed it. Battle of Los Angeles, where those lights were in the sky. They thought it was Russian. They were just shooting the shit out of it for like 20 minutes. Nothing happened. Guess what their excuse was? It was just a weather balloon. You see, like I said, you see these patterns. They use the same freaking excuse. We're stopping the spread of communists. Communism. That's why we're doing this. Okay, it's a valid excuse, I guess. We can't have communists anywhere. So yeah, that was in 1947. So in 1955, guess what came into creation? Because they were creating classified aircraft. Area 51 popped up in 1955. So Project Blue Book in 1952. Moon landing 1969. MLK assassination 1968. JFK assassination 1963. Montauk Project. Montauk Project's where it really isn't nefarious or anything. It's they hired, this is when, have you seen Men Who Stare at Goats? That's based off a true story. It's the CIA tracked down all the top psychics in the world, and they did remote viewing from everywhere, like different places on the planet, different places in the universe. And this is actual studies. It's pretty interesting. You should look into it. That one was just kind of cool. Let's see. Operation. Okay, so that was 1943. It was a Montauk Project. Also not that important. Operation Mongoose, like I said, 1962. Operation Northwoods, 1962 as well. MK Ultra, mind control, LSD. That's where it came from, and psychological torture was 1953. Gulf of Tonkin, the sole reason we went to war in Vietnam, is 1964. Operation Paperclip, where all the Nazi scientists, 1945. Adolf Hitler was actually alive in Argentina, along with a lot of other people in 1945 as well. All these things are technically conspiracy theories, but they're verifiably fact. They happened. So they just like the media with that brings out bullshit articles, they just rely on their audience to just never look into anything. And nowadays they don't have to answer for nothing. For example, okay, let's see. I love it when you see, like when Obama was endorsing Biden and was talking about they have a strong like propaganda network. It's Fox, right? That was their thing, which is semi-true, but they have Fox. You have, let's see, Huffington Post, Washington Post, New York Post. You have Fox. You have literally 90% of the media on your side, right? So how many of them you see posted when Trump said hydrocloxin or whatever? I just butchered that. Just kind of go with it. And when the malaria drug, when he said, hey, they're having some success. I actually already saw that and looked into it before he even mentioned it. Countries that have a high risk for malaria, they have it there. So they were using it and they were having success. He mentioned it. They completely botched the story of the girl that her husband died when she's like, oh, well, just listen to Trump. She was actually anti-Trump. She was a donor to Hillary Clinton. She hated her husband, and I think now is facing charges because she thinks they did it on purpose. After all that, guess what? Just New York Post posted. Yeah, it's working. It's one of the best drugs to combat COVID-19. You don't see them saying shit. Oh, my bad. No, you never see that because they don't have to do shit. That's why I said look, this is blowing my mind, dude. It's just so much bullshit nonstop, man. So crazy. Anyway, all right. So those were the documented facts. Then you get into like reptilians. If you're not familiar with reptilians, there's a theory that there it is. Conspiracy craze. Why 12 million Americans believe aliens. 12 million Americans believe alien lizards rule the U.S. Rule us. All the elites are reptilian aliens. Apparently 12 million Americans believe that. That's a conspiracy theory. Like, I don't know what kind of documented proof you would have to say that, okay, they're reptilians, but that is a conspiracy theory. That's pretty Looney Tunes. That's like some Alex Jones type shit. Now, Hollow Earth is also, you thought I was going to say flat Earth, didn't you? Hollow Earth is also a conspiracy theory. Hollow Earth is a concept proposed that the planet Earth is entirely hollow or contains a substantial interior space, notably suggested by the Edmund Halley. And fun fact, the Nazis believed this. They did. And gave semi-credence to it because we all know what we know Antarctica has. A vast nothingness of ice, just bleh, nothing. Well, in a transcript from one of his people, because, Hitler had a big presence down there. He was talking about how perfect and like an amazing and perfect area, whatever Antarctica was. I forget how he worded it, but it wasn't just like, oh, it's like the way I'd put it, it sounded like, oh, it's perfect for what we need it for. No, he's saying like it's like perfect conditions. It's just amazing. Like it's beautiful, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Because in a lot of cultures, in Africa, for example, they believe that the elite, when the time's right, obviously I don't think these people are Christians, the elite or whatever will come up from the hollow earth, from the inner earth. And that's where they think there's a superior race is living inside the earth. Also, a conspiracy theory. That seems a little weird. Flat earth people, they're so passionate, man. You gotta respect that. But like I told you, I entertain all of thoughts of conspiracy. And then I'm looking into it. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't make any damn sense. So when you go, so if biblically speaking, God said the earth is on pillars. So basically, biblically, the earth is flat, as described in the Bible. However, how do you account? Because if the earth is flat, just like the Bible says, that means there's a firmament, right, separating the heavens and the earth, meaning space doesn't exist, right? So here's my main argument is, what about satellites? Oh, here's their argument. They say they don't have satellites. They bury wires underwater and underground. A little far-fetched. I can see I don't know what wire can show. I can see my truck parked in my driveway on Google Maps. Like, that doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? That's just mainly that was. And another thing, if we're flat, how come everything else in the sky is round? By all means, if any flat earthers are out there, please. Like, I'm not shitting on you. I don't hate on people that are flat earthers. Those are the two things that I can't answer. But also, I'm very dumb, so I don't get how rockets work in space either. If anybody know how propulsion works, please, because I can't wrap my head around how a rocket or how rockets or boosters work in space. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know if anyone's following, because you're in a vacuum, right? I feel like if you're going to be, once again, completely ignorant in this subject, but I feel like if every action has an opposite or equal reaction or whatever the hell that thing's called, you know what I mean? So if you're pushing off something, right? But there's nothing to push because you're in a vacuum. So how's it going? But once again, don't know how propulsion works. So I really would like a smart scientist person to be like, oh, hey, dumbass, this is how it works. But I don't know. Doesn't make any sense. All science don't make no sense because science is so political. If it goes outside the norm, the scientific norm, if you go away from what has been fact for, or thought to be fact for hundreds of years, you're like exiled as a scientist. When that chick and her husband carbon dated that shit that was way old, and they're like, wait a minute, that ain't happening, bro. That's way older than what we said it was gonna be. Yeah, she literally was just exiled. She no longer had any grants, nothing. And then it came out later, like, oh, well, this is right, but they give her no credit. Also, the Sphinx. They had a lot of pushback now, but now it's becoming more mainstream. A guy actually had a trick historians by pretending it was he basically say this is the Sphinx. The top of the Sphinx is up here, and the bottom's here, right? He basically folded here, and he was like, whoop, what on this riverbank? You would say like this is heavy rain or water, the ancient riverbed. This has to be like major water erosion, correct? And basically he was like, yeah. He's like, dude, that would be like blah, blah, blah. And he agreed to it. Then he opened the picture and he's like, I don't want nothing about, no part of this. And what I'm talking about is after a lot of scientific research and stuff, the wear and tear on the Sphinx is like 10,000 plus years more advanced than anything else in Egypt. And the amount of rainfall or water that it would have taken to erode and wear down the base of the Sphinx didn't exist other than the 10,000 years prior. So that means it was there before. Because, in all the hieroglyphs in all of Egypt, no mention of anything building of pyramids, the Sphinx, nothing. All there is the one of the pharaohs redid the head. So I got heartburn, sorry. But basically, yeah. So that's science for you. Why'd you get into science? Just because I'm talking to space. It boggles my mind how science will. You get Neil deGrasse Tyson with his fancy talk and his stupid ass ties will come out and talk about how we found a Earth-like planet 14 light years away in a nearby galaxy, which could easily harbor life. How the hell they know that? It's science, Josh. That's science. We can't put a man on the moon. Are you denying we went to the moon? No, I'm saying like we legit can't do it. Regardless, if we went to the moon or we didn't go to the moon, we can't do it. That's your opinion, Josh. No, NASA astronaut said we can't do it. Prove it, Josh. Okay, I'm talking to myself. End quote. We did have the technology to go to the moon, but we destroyed it, and it's a painful process to get it back. End quote. That's what I love about politics and shit like that. So what they do is, depending on what narrative they're pushing, they'll use the same thing in two different ways. Tell me if it sounds familiar. Let me know. So when they're talking about how amazing the feat of putting a man on the moon was, they'll be like, "We put men on the moon with no more technology than in that calculator over there." However, then we get into this, and it goes, well, we did have the technology, but it's a painful process to get it back. I'm like, wait a minute. Wait. Time out. But I thought it was no more advanced than it's this calculator over here. I can look at myself on a phone that never even existed. Nothing even existed. Not even just the device. What's sending the images to the device? Not only did that device not exist, that technology, that thought, the overall concept didn't even exist. This is what boggles my mind about the moon landing. The first time in human history, technology went backwards. Now shut up, Josh, and just show us the video. Okay, fair.
Over the years, I made several videos regarding so-called astronaut Don Pettit, basically the head of mockery when it comes to state, and he goes on to talk, which I find very used to go to his audience, his followers.
No, stop talking. Just show us the video. I just clickbait the shit out of you.
Going to Mars. Okay, first off, before even showing people between
places of interest, here maybe Mars, and some steps that should be to, but
the lines. Take a listen. Just very bizarre interview. Very end.
The moon.
People need to read the very end.
I'd go.
What he says. People need.
Here we go.
And it's a painful process to build it back again. But going technology, do that anymore. We use in a nanosecond.
Between the lines. Take a listen.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again. But going technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again. But going to technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again. But going.
Not just me. That ain't just me, guy. That ain't just me, guy. Here's another argument for why we went to the moon. If we didn't go to the moon, where'd we get all these moon rocks from? It's proven that it's moon rocks. Or here's the argument. I know I'm sounding like super like, or we didn't go to the moon. But all fairness, we were the only ones that ever been to the moon. So what are we referencing this to? I could pluck one of my pubes, put it in a jar, and be like, I have Elvis's pubes. Like, bullshit. Like, dude, it's Elvis's pubes, man. What do you have to match it with? You don't. DNA, dumbass. Sake of the argument, okay? That was an asshole astronaut. No, it's just one astronaut. He's an idiot. He didn't know what he's talking about.
The other three crew.
2-week time, or we'll have the space station to ourselves before our next crew arrives?
In the first 4 months.
Well, that's a great question. The plan that NASA has is to build a rocket called ESSA, and it will be able to launch the components in Earth orbit. That's the far to destinations, as well as landers or other components to
just so you thought I was full of shit.
Earth
Here's
orbit.
another
Right
one.
now, we only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the farthest that we can go. And this new system that we're building is going to allow us to go beyond and hopefully take humans into the solar system to explore. So the moon, Mars, asteroids, there's a lot of destinations that we could go to, and we're building these building block components in order to allow us to do that eventually.
Samantha, according to a recent survey based on research on internet, you are the most popular. Does it mean that science may be
sure that was a service conduct, but just to take it for the fun that I'm sure, like me, who is tentative of something this incredible technological, scientific to work together. So in that sense, of course, I am happy that in
social media followers in around 2.
Well,
I'm certainly happy that criteria, but just to take it for the fun that I'm well.
I had.
I'm not sure that was a service conduct according to the scientific and statistical criteria, but just to take it for the fun that I'm certainly happy. A person like me, but has the privilege of being something really special program, having this incredible technological, scientific achievement, which is really a testament, best minds. And of course, I'm
sent in by guys.
Living here is very space is pretty. The thing I think we miss the most is people. You know, we miss more than anything. Another thing that I'll throw out there, we were just talking about this, is weather on Earth. So that is something that other rain and snow and that kind.
You remember on the station actor Leon
inside. Important for NASA, our way forward, the way that we're going to launch astronauts from Florida once the SpaceX capsule. It's be solved.
And what comes the present?
The plan that NASA has is something that is much bigger than what we have today, and it will be able to launch the Orion capsule with humans on board, as well as land. Right now, we only can fly in Earth to destinations beyond Earth orbit. Right now, we only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the farthest that we can go. And this new system that we're building is going to allow us to go beyond and hopefully take.
This is date May 17th, 2015. We sent someone to the moon in July of 1969, my guy, with a calculator. Pew. Blows my mind, my guy. Here's another thing that's I'll stop rambling. I'll leave you all alone. Van Allen radiation belts. What is the Van Allen radiation belts? Van Allen radiation belts. You know the Northern Lights? That's the tip of them. It's basically what protects us. Here we go.
Space weather can be on the Earth and knock out power grids, disrupt communications, and even damage electronic equipment. But most of the time,
that's Van Allen radiation
by
belts.
The Earth's magnetic field.
You see where it comes on the tips?
So-called
Northern Lights.
Van Allen radiation belt. Nevertheless, they can still inflict damage, says NASA's program scientist Mona Kessel.
We also have a lot of satellites, because
in 2000, called Van Allen probes, they were to explore.
So yeah, they had to go through that. There and back.
The reastronaut expected
that was another interview. I'm not even going to try to find it because I went. Another astronaut was like, "Well, we're trying to figure out how to get through the Van Allen radiation belts. We haven't figured out the technology yet." No, wait a minute, haven't y'all done it?
That we never anticipated
The Van Allen probes discovered
okay, here's
that
another
instead
thing.
of 2 layers,
Apollo
the belt has an occasional
mission
third layer of charged particles, and that they sometimes
telemetry
form
data.
zones called.
Where are the lost Apollo 11 moon landing tapes? It's not just the Apollo 11, it's all of the Apollo missions telemetry data. But that one's the only one I really care about because obviously that's like the first time, right?
5, 4, all engines.
Raw high-resolution telemetry for the National Oceanic and any original high-resolution, the original Apollo 19, and 40,000 tapes from the Apollo and not efficiently cataloged. Thousands of boxes were destroyed by a sprinkler system. 140,000 tapes from the Apollo era were checked out and never returned. Some of the places
you see
that
what
they were
I'm
sent
talking
had their
about?
contents destroyed,
Does that sound
erased,
familiar?
or simply degraded through
Did
bad
y'all know?
storage.
Okay, so when Jeffrey Epstein killed himself, the cameras just weren't working, right? The first suicide attempt. Oh yeah, there was a first suicide attempt. Remember, because that's why I was on Suicide Watch in the first place. The footage, the surveillance footage, was accidentally deleted in a clerical error. Do you not see the consistency of the bullshit? Well, 364 days a year, every year we do it like this, but on this day we just didn't. Oh, Johnny was new. His boss took a vacation that day. 9/11, that's what happened. So, I don't know. Y'all can call me a Looney Tunes. I know I rambled. I'm trying. How sick is my Randy Macho Man Savage shirt? Killing it. I'm thinking about this, guys, ladies and gentlemen, hobos and tramps. Tell me what y'all think about this. The new show name could possibly be a double entendre. Okay. This is gonna be bluntly honest media. Bluntly honest, man, that's stupid as shit. No, that's not that stupid. It's like because the initials spell Birmingham, bruh. BHM. Here it is. Here it is. All right, I'm about to show y'all this logo that I made in 14 seconds just a second ago. I'm just screen grabbing it, saving it. Okay, some pictures. Enter. Browse. Pictures. Here it comes. Here comes. Dude, Josh, you are a shit show tonight. All right, here it is. Bam. Birmingham. Bluntly honest media. Obviously, I would do it professional, and it wouldn't take 15 seconds, and it would look cool and trendy and like other ones. But bluntly honest media. All right. And I'm thinking about just doing just the show, which will be way more professional and more organized than what I'm doing now, rather than me just flopping on here and just verbal bukkake on a microphone. But and I'll have a crew again, and I'll have a regular guest. Also, people that have applied that's possibly listening, I know it's been months since you have applied, but I will be posting another job posting. I had so many. I had 98 applicants. And then shit hit the fan, you know, with Becca and everything. So, but I will be coming back. I'll be looking for a host. I'm going to be very picky, but not picky, really. If we click, we click. So it's all it has. We have to have chemistry. You got to be able to speak clearly, and you have to be well versed in a lot of pointless, random things, basically. I'm also looking for another producer type guy. Brian Wyckoff, I miss you, man. You were the GOAT. You were my GOAT, my guy. Social media people. If you know any social media marketing people that can give me pointers and stuff, because I want to. So I know I jumped on YouTube late, and I'm not familiar with all that. Because when I started the podcast, I didn't even know what the cable that plugged into a microphone was. Like I knew nothing about audio. I knew nothing about. I still don't. I have audio mixers and shit right now that have knobs. I don't know what the hell they mean. I just know it sounds good when they're pointing at this. When this one's pointing that way and this one's pointing this way, and I just know that's how I learned. Basically, I'm a monkey. A monkey could do what I'm doing right now. So then I was like, oh, I want to learn about video. So then I got into video, and that's kind of where the show came from, live show. And then I'm just worrying about the technology it takes to get the video, I still don't have because when you get into video, it's a lot more expensive. So I found that out the hard way. So I'm trying to be a baller on a budget and make it look good. All my graphics were made on PowerPoint, not any Adobe, which that will change on the new show. I'll have professional media, professional overlays, professional transitions. I hopefully will have segments, maybe some Mad Libs, some funny little things. I'll be adding into. I'll definitely be more audience interactions. You can have spin the wheel for topics, spin the wheel for it'll pop up on the screen. You spin the wheel, you win a shirt, or because Patrick Shaw won that with when we had our billboards. You take a picture in front of your billboard, and when we draw. If you've done that, you did that, and you subscribed and did all that shit, then the winner won a concert ticket of their choosing. He got 2 free tickets to go see Kevin Hart in Tennessee. I'll be bringing stuff like that back. I will be going live. I'll be going remote. I'll be interviewing more people. I'll go back to having guests because I'll have a studio again. It's going to be great. I'm excited. I'm actually going to try this time. But when it comes, I'll come live. I'll go out live again, unnamed. So I'll be live telling you about what we need to do. And I will have a challenge for anyone and everyone that wants free money, bruh. Here's the plan. When it comes time, I'm gonna put out a message asking people to get as many people as they possibly can to subscribe prior to launch date. All right. And if you hit a certain mark, if you can confirm that you got X amount of people subscribed, you get a free Amazon gift card. It'll match the amount of people you get to subscribe. The gift card will match it. Obviously, I'll round up. If you get like 13, I'm not going to give $13 gift card, but you know what I mean. So keep that in mind. It's coming. All right. I'm going to do this right, son. It's going to be great. It's going to be huge. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be great. Also, I'm going to stop rambling. I will be going live here soon. I don't even know what today is. Today Monday? Today's Monday. Also, anniversary of the Tuscaloosa tornadoes. Bad memory. I'll be going live in Wednesday. I'll be going live Wednesday. All right. We'll be talking about the Saints getting Jameis Winston and what I think about that. My supervisor, because when after the Tampa Bay Buccaneers got Tom Brady, I was like, I can't stand Jameis Winston, but I hope the Patriots sign his ass and they win a Super Bowl. That would be funny as hell. And then the Saints get him. I think it's good for him because there's a lot of leadership and maturity in that locker room. A lot of people think it's going to be a crash and burn. I think it'll be pleasant. I think he will improve enough because most of his interceptions is him just trying to do too much. But when you have a scheme as well ran as the Saints, and you have Drew Brees showing you the ropes, minimum he shows out and we get more than what we put in on him. Secondly, if the Taysom Hill experiment goes south, then we have a second option, which is cool. But we'll be talking about that later. We'll be talking about if we'll even have a football season. And then also we're going to be talking about The Last Dance, the documentary released by Michael Jordan in combat of LeBron thinking he's the GOAT. Michael Jordan's like, oh yeah? I've been holding on to this footage for like fucking years waiting for you to say this. So here you go. Blee! But yeah, we'll be talking about that. So anyway, I don't even know if anyone's watching or if anyone has watched. And as much of a shit show this was, I wouldn't be heartbroken if no one was watching. But until Wednesday, I don't know who I'm going to have. I might have Matt from Product Probes. I might have a plethora of people. I might have no one. It might just be me with another goofy looking shirt. I might be wearing a romper with a cat, a big fat cat eating pizza, or it might be a romper with a sloth riding a T-Rex shooting laser beams out of his eyes. You never know. You never know. I might just do it. I might wear a mullet. I might have a mullet with a bandana. I don't know. I'm delirious. Who's sick of this social distancing thing? Who thinks this shit... Okay. Who's at a point to where they think all this is bullshit? I don't know why I was waiting for a response. Is it... I know it makes me sound like you're what? There's people dying from this. Yeah, I know. Well, yeah. I know. But here's my semi-theory. I know I'm piggybacking from somebody if they're listening, but you think it's weird that like almost, I wouldn't say 90% of the deaths, but like a vast majority of the deaths were all isolated in like 2 or 3 different places. Italy was just decimated. New York, decimated. Everywhere else, nothing. Hold on, I want to pull up the numbers so I don't spread fake news. COVID-19. I think it would just pull up the stats, right? Oh, here it is. That's not it, dumbass. Oh, that is it. Okay. Why are you whispering? I don't know. Okay, U.S. has 1 million. Wait, what? 1 million? Is that 1 million? Yeah. 1,010,356 cases. Why don't they add... Okay, so we have 1,010,356 confirmed cases. Second place, 229,422. But they don't show you how many were tested. Like, I feel like that's important. Like, oh my, holy shit, America's got so many more cases of COVID-19, dude. Oh, they tested 1 million more people. Oh, that makes more sense. Okay. Once again, my favorite meme, it was like a news article thing. It said, like, it was fake, I think. But a man falls into a wood chipper, dies of COVID-19. It's funny. Anyway, total deaths, 56,797. I don't know why I struggled there. This is a shitty website. Oh, fuck it. Statistics. I have the damn website on my phone. Oh, here it is. Show all. All right, so 56,000. Where does all these deaths come from? I feel like this is bullshit. I thought they came back and said they were like vastly wrong.
Over the years, I made several videos.
Hold on, California COVID study. Oh, shit, yeah. Okay, remember when last episode I was talking about those people with the hot mic? I'm not sick. I keep talking. I got cotton mouth. Hold on. All right. It's real. That really happened.
Yeah. And so that makes it 0.1 to 0.3. Okay. Does a study to give out with? Yeah, just give it to them. So it suggests the patient's risk of 10. Seems. Well, which puts you right in line with the flu. Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. So as a whole.
Not the whole thing. Here we go. This isn't the video, but this is what it is.
Crazy. I mean, I don't say that lightly, and as a kind of a goofy guy. And this thing, if we don't, everybody's gonna be killed.
I know.
And he hasn't said one word.
I don't even think he knows that there is a VC.
Yeah.
That's a different hot mic. Do I have to rely on Joe Rogan of all people to give me a damn full video?
The Joe Rogan Experience.
See if you can find this conversation, Jamie. That doesn't sound like they're joking. Play what it says, because John. Let me explain it here. John Roberts comes in, and it's going to play an ad before this, Jamie. So kill the volume. And he tells the other gentleman that play.
Take out the mask, Doug. The case fatality rate's like 0.1 to 0.3 according to USC.
Is it really? That's reassuring.
USC.
Everybody here's been vaccinated anyway.
USC and LA County Public Health come out with a study. They found that there were 7,000 cases in California, but they really believe that there are anywhere from 221,000 to 442,000 people who were infected.
Really?
Yeah.
So that makes it 0.1 to 0.3. Does a study to give out with?
Yeah, just give it to them.
So basically what they're saying is, but this new study in California is that everyone's infected pretty much. Oh, I never even got on my thing with the New York thing. I think there's two separate things coming. I'm leaving after this. I think there's two separate things going on right now. I think there's the COVID flu virus, just your average flu, which is a COVID-19. I think there's a biological weapon that has been released in said cities. I've seen pictures, and I probably shouldn't be talking about this, but I've seen pictures of in hospital and on the floor of severely infected COVID patients where like they have like 1 day to live. Their skin's all swollen. They got blisters. They got like Vaseline on the skin multiple times a day, or it starts cracking. That's not flu symptoms I've ever heard of. Like, I want answers. Trump, I want answers. I get okay. Look, it's getting to a point where it's like, come on, man. Like, but then you got to look at it in this shoes, because you got all of media, all of entertainment, all of everything, and the entire Democratic Party and half the country waiting for him to do one bad thing. Right now, they're trying to find it like they have been doing for 4 years. They're just nitpicking on everything. And he was talking about, oh, hey, disinfectant. You can literally like watch it kills the germs within 2 minutes. I wish that we could just like enjoy, like, put that inside us, or have like UV in, through our bodies, and we just kill it right away. Obviously being hypothetical. We're like, oh, it's so stupid. You know what's stupid? it's more stupid for you to believe that he meant that sincerely than him actually saying it sincerely. That's just so dumb. Like, it boggles my mind when I see people. Once again, I'm not the biggest Trump dick rider, but to say that Donald J. Trump is not intelligent is just out of my mind insane. Like, you do, coming from somebody on Facebook, right, with a high school education, or a C+ journalist from HuffPo talking shit about how dumb he is. Who are you? Who are you, dude, making $45,000 a year to talk shit about somebody? This man has ran an empire. He's gone bankrupt. Those were ventures, bruh. Have you done research? Have you? Have you? All the businesses that went bankrupt, he put his right-hand man in charge. That was his venture. That was his thing. He was just a financial backer. Something happened with said guy. Trump's like, well, I don't know nothing about this. It went belly up. Boop. Moved on. Guess what? You say he went bankrupt X amount of times, yet he's still a multi-millionaire. I'll take that all day. Yeah, but he's just his dad gave him money. His dad gave him money. His dad gave him $2 million. Yes. I agree. But let me be humble and let me be very self-aware here. Other than going to an accountant and just trusting him to make me money, if someone gave me $2 million, I would have not accomplished my percentage of what Trump has accomplished. And to say you would, without a reasonable doubt, is irresponsible. Another fact, the man ran for the president of the United States of America, the most powerful position on the planet, and won on the first try. Yet he's a dumbass. In the 80s, Congress had him come testify in front of them on economic things on what to expect as a economy expert. Yet, he doesn't know shit about the economy. Oh, how do you know that? It's because I've been ingrained to just hear negative shit. Negative shit. 93% of all media is negative towards Trump. That's made up, Josh? No, it's not. It's a Harvard study. Check it out. Quit falling for propaganda, my guys. To say it's never been done, guess what? It has been done. It's been done in many countries. Many countries, along with the United States. From 1953 to... when was that? 1951 and 1963. It was an Operation Mongoose. And it's probably still happening today. So, keep that in mind. I'll see you on Wednesday.